don't have any guests, but if there is anybody who is also on the call, please feel welcomed. And from my side, a good morning to everybody. As per our standard operating procedure, members of adopting the agenda for the day, I would just like to ask Masi if you can just circulate our agenda so that we can just move ask for a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda, please. There we go, members. As you can see, the agenda is being flighted. As members will see, we are scheduled to go from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock, which should give us more than enough time for the business of the day. We have a consideration on the adoption of the budget vote for the various departments and deliberations. And thereafter, we've got some adoption of draft minutes. Can I please see a mover for the adoption of the agenda? Honorable Kaba, I see your hand, and Honorable Langa after that.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Chair. Morning to the members and the department in the platform. Minister, Deputy Minister, DGs.
There's no minister.
I move the adoption of the agenda, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kaba. Much appreciated. Honorable Langa.
No, thank you very much, Chair. And greetings to yourselves and colleagues. And I wanted to say to Mam Kaba, it's a portfolio committee. There's no ministers today. Chair, maybe before I second for adoption of today's agenda, I want to check, Chair, if maybe you can squeeze in the study tour issue on this meeting, or if we can maybe schedule it for another meeting of the committee. The reason I'm asking this is because this is like the meeting whereby it's just ourselves as only the portfolio committee members. So other than that, Chair, maybe if I can get a response from that, but I am in line with seconding the agenda. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Langa. I think if we finish with the adoption of the minutes before 1 o'clock, I'm very happy to discuss the study tour. I've got no issue with that. If there are no objections from other members, we can add that to the agenda committee at the end. I unfortunately have to do a radio interview just after 1 o'clock, so I can't commit to going over 1 o'clock. That is a hard stop for me, but I'm very happy to discuss that. And I think, members, with that, the agenda for the day has been duly adopted. Thank you for that suggestion, Honorable Langa. Members, then next on our agenda is just the apologies. I have noted apologies from Honorable Letlape as well as Honorable Wane. And Honorable Langa, if I understand, you are traveling or on the road, so you might jump in and out of the meeting. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chairperson. Hence my proposal that maybe this meeting can resolve maybe on the date of where we can schedule the deliberations on the study tour, because I would have liked to be part of that meeting.
I'm happy to accommodate you, Honorable Langa. So let's see at the end if you are still with us. If you're not, then we can schedule a separate occasion to discuss the study tour. No problem.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Okay, members, I think that's the apologies. I've not seen any hands, but if there's any other apologies that must be noted, I will just give a moment. I see no other hands. Okay, I think we can move on. Members, committees of the National Assembly are currently in the process of considering departmental annual performance plans and budget allocations. And today, as in accordance with our committee program, we will deliberate on the adoption of the budget vote reports for the Department of Public Service and Administration, the Center for Public Service Innovation, and the Public Service Commission and the National School of Government. So after today, we should all have some good inputs into how we can prepare for our budget speeches, which we will deliver when it's our turn. But with that, members, I'm going to hand over to the staff so that Masinkole and Julius, that you can present to us the report. I assume that it will be Julius doing it. Please proceed.
That's correct, Chairperson. Through you, Chairperson, Julius will take us through the 3 reports, and I'll do the minutes after he's done with that one, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please proceed. Julius, you're not audible. I'm not sure if you've started talking, but we haven't heard some.
Okay. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now you're audible.
Okay. No, thanks, Chairperson. I thought I've unmuted my mic. Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members and colleagues on the platform. As the Chairperson has already indicated that committees are in a process of approving budgets for the department. We, as the committee, we have started with the processing of the budget for the Public Service Commission. I will just follow that sequence, Chairperson, up until we deal with the DPSA budget vote. Before the committee, I've projected the report on budget vote 12 of the Public Service Commission, which I believe members have read it through. If there's any correction, Chairperson.
Honorable Chairperson.
Apologies, Julius. Honorable Kaba? Yeah,
Yes, I was trying to raise my hands. I can see that you are not seeing. I was wanting to say to the presenter, the font is too small. It's very small. We can't even see, even if ngifaka le amehlo wesi-4, these 4 eyes, I can't see clearly. The font must be a little bit wide.
No problem, Honorable Kaba. I'm sure Julius can just zoom in a little bit. Julius, I think you can just press on your plus button there at the bottom right, and you'll be able to zoom in a bit more for us so that it's bigger.
Okay. Yeah, I believe I've done that, Chair. If Honorable Kaba and other honorable members are able to see it, if they can't, then they will just shout while I'm carrying on with the report.
No, it is, yeah. No, if you don't mind me suggesting, I see you're on 120% at the moment. Let's maybe take it up a little bit. If you can just use on the bottom right hand, you can just use your mouse and zoom in a little bit more.
Okay, Chair. Is it fine now, Chair?
I'm not sure if on my side it's frozen, but
no, it's still the same.
It's still exactly the same. We haven't seen any.
It's exactly the same.
Okay, let me. Let me stop sharing and then share it again.
Much better.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no, thanks. Thanks, Honorable Kaba and Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, Chair. Before the committee is the report, is a draft report on budget vote 12, Public Service Commission. Chair, as we normally do this, I'm not going to read page by page. I'll just move page. If honorable members have noted some corrections or where a sentence is not making any sense, please, honorable members and chairperson, and even my colleagues, but this is our report that we have drafted together with the colleagues. But if there's anything maybe that has been spotted, please, the chair, allow them to make such kind of correction as I'm moving up until the findings and the recommendations, where I will read those to the committee. But for now, allow me to just go page by page, Chairperson.
Please
On page,
proceed. Yeah, please proceed exactly. That is how we've always done it. So I'm happy that you proceed on that basis.
yeah, this is page 1, Honorable Chair and honorable members. If there's anything, members will indicate. Okay, this is just a way we have met as a committee. We have met on the 29th, if honorable members, through a Zoom platform. When we engage the Public Service Commission, we just have to indicate the date for the Parliament records. And this is page 2. And page 3. Page 4. And page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. And then page 9, about the budget allocation. Page 10, on programs. Page 11. Page 12. Okay, Chair, then I'll start reading our report. I'll be fast as well. If Chair will allow me just to read the observation and findings, or just to go up until the recommendation. But let me first read the observation and findings. If members would want to add or clarify certain the findings and observation, then Chairperson, I will just pause after the observation and findings if there's anything. So for now, I will just read, then members will just note where they will really want to make addition or corrections. Thanks, Honorable Chair. The first observation and recommendation is 9.1, where the committee knows the annual performance plan for 2026 of the Public Service Commission. And the committee further confirms that the APP is aligned to the strat plan of the Public Service Commission, which covers most of the functions of the Commission as encapsulated in Section 196 of the Constitution, and is also aligned to the medium-term development plan of the National Development Plan. 9.2, the committee knows that the Public Service Commission bill is at an advanced stage and is to be concluded by the National Council of Provinces, having obtained mandates from all 9 provinces. And the committee awaits the outcome of the NCOP legislative process. And the bill seeks to establish a secretariat that is independent of government, thereby strengthening the Commission's independence. And once returned to the committee, if amended, remember, if only it can be referred to the committee only if the bill is amended, the committee will prioritize it before the end of the 2026-2027 financial year. So here, the committee, we are just assuming that if there are amendments made on the bill, then it will have to be referred to the committee. So if then it gets referred, then we will then prioritize the amendment so that the bill can be sent back to the National Assembly. And 9.3, the enactment of the PSC bill will require increased funding under challenging economic conditions where departments are already experiencing budget cuts. And strengthening the PSC mandate and independence as envisioned in the National Development Plan will require additional resources and capacity. So it's just to make an emphasis that if the PSC has, the Public Service Commission has to be strengthened, it will then require those the additional resources and capacity. And the committee plans to continue engaging relevant budgetary forums to ensure the Commission's expanded mandate is fully funded. 9.4, the committee commends the National Treasury and all government budgetary forums for increasing the PSC budget allocation under tight economic conditions. If members recalls, the PSC's budget has been increased as compared to the previous financial year where they were indicating that the budget was cut. With regard to 9.5, inadequate operational budget allocation negatively impacts the PSC ability to enforce accountability and improve public administration. Programs such as monitoring and evaluation depend heavily on operational budgets to carry out day-to-day functions, including physical site visits. Insufficient operational funding compromises the availability of evidence for sound decision-making as well as policy review and formulations. If members still recall here, when you look at the programs under the program 2 up until program 4, even let's say even the program 5 on the provincial offices, most of the budget of the PSCs merely spent on compensation of employees, and then they conduct desktop studies. They conduct desktop studies to for their own monitoring. So it's just a matter of highlighting that more funding is needed on operational activity so that the PSC is unable to conduct physical sites visit rather than doing the desktop studies in the office. And 9.6, the committee further urges the PSC to rigorously monitor the implementation of professionalization framework, which is a key pillar for building state capacity to deliver on policy commitments. And high state capacity is strongly linked to long-term economic development. So this is just an emphasis from the committee that the PSC should continue monitoring the implementation of professionalization. If members recalls, this indicator is embedded in the APP of the Public Service Commission. So it's just to re-emphasize that particular point that they should carry on monitoring the implementation of professionalization framework. 9.7, the Commission is encouraged to publish annual reports on executive recruitment outcomes in the public administration to enhance transparency and public trust. So here's just as part of monitoring the recruitments of senior management and part of promoting transparency and increase public trust, the committee is encouraging the PSC to publish the reports on the executive recruitment so that members of the public are aware that this certain official is appointed in this particular department, and this can also raise an alarm to departments if Mr. Mwepe has been reappointed, whereas he has been facing a disciplinary cases from another municipality or whatever. So it's just to say if this can be published, the executive recruitment, maybe we might minimize the practice where officials risks are faced somewhere, whereas they are facing disciplinary cases in another department through members of the public if they are aware that someone has been reappointed in another department. So if the PSC can do that, then maybe that will minimize such kind of practice in the public service or even in the public sector. So 9.8, enhancement of the financial disclosure framework is critically important and should be reviewed periodically to respond to evolving ethical challenges in public administration. The Commission is well positioned to identify systematic risks that weaken the financial disclosure framework, which may otherwise become a mere compliance mechanisms while unethical conduct persists without consequences. If members recalls, even when we met with the Special Investigating Unit, yes, they are existing framework, but when you look at this framework, how often they get reviewed is another area that need this committee's attentions to ensure that the Department of Public Service and Administration continue to review this framework. For an example, remember one of the commissioners indicated that officials currently they are hiding with livestock. They don't disclose their livestock. They channel money through livestock. So such kind of, but when we also disclose, but on the disclosure form, there is no an area where they say you have to indicate how many cows to one own or whatever. So those are some of the areas that we as a committee, the committee needs to ensure that at least this framework gets reviewed periodically rather than still being using a framework that was developed way back and then unethical conducts continue persisting without any consequences. So that's what these findings emphasize. With regard to 9.9, the Commission is further encouraged to establish a monitoring system for high-risk officials identified through the financial disclosure framework and ensure that consequent management is applied. So it's just to encourage the Commission to monitor high-risk officials that have been identified through financial disclosure framework, because not all officials we have submitted, some they've been classified as high risk. So we are just encouraging the Commission, the committee is encouraging the Commission to provide an intense monitoring with regard to their cases so that they don't just keep being on the system, whereas departments, as we know that disciplinary cases has been decentralized, so that the departments can fast track these particular cases where there is a high potential conflict of interest. And then with regard to 9.10, the committee is concerned that the Public Service Commission provincial offices are understaffed with only 5 to 10 employees per office, and these staff members are responsible for overseeing all provincial departments where service delivery challenges are most acute. And this limited staffing is insufficient to conduct effective monitoring, investigation, and evaluation. However, the introduction of Program 5 provincial code is expected to address this issue, and the committee advocates for increased capacity under this program in terms of both budget and human resource. So, honorable members, this is self-explanatory. We are appealing for more resources for the provincial Public Service Commission, although there's only one commission, but it's just to say to Parliament that these offices need to be, the capacity in these offices need to be beefed up. And then with regard to 9.11, the Northwest Province has appointed a commissioner, and which will enable the PSC to carry out its function more effectively in that region. So currently what the chairperson of the commission has indicated to the committees that for the first time ever, that the commission is operating with all commissioners, including national and provincial. So with the appointment of the Northwest Commissioner, then the commission is fully capacitated in terms of commissioners. No one will be appointed or delegated to go and act in another province from national office. So that's what the chairperson then appreciated, the effort that this committee has made in intervening to fast track the appointment of the National Northwest Province Commissioner. So, Chair, these are the recommendations. The key findings. I will just go to the recommendation, Chairperson, and then so that then I just finish with this report and then allow members to provide their inputs. And with regard to the recommendations, 10.1. The committee recommends to the Public Service Commission to undertake the following activities: to continue engaging the National Treasury on the business case to fund both current commission's operations and the implementation of the PSC bill once enacted. A significant portion of the Commission's budget is currently spent on compensation of employees rather than on program activities. So it's just to re-emphasize that particular point that the Commission need to look at their budget and make sure that there's a balance between budget that goes to the compensation of employees and the ones that goes to that will then fund program activities of the Commission. And then 10.2, the Commission should also ensure adequate budget allocation to the monitoring and evaluation program. And this program depends heavily on operational budgets to carry out day-to-day functions, including physical sites visits. Inadequate operational funding compromises the Commission's visibility and the availability of evidence for sound decision-making and policy review and policy formulation. So with regard to 10.3, and then we say the Public Service Commission should strengthen provincial offices by increasing women resource capacity to enable more site visit inspection, improved responsiveness to community complaints. And then the PSC, in preparation for the extended mandate of overseeing local government and state-owned enterprises, should begin upskilling current staff on local government and SOE governance model. And the Commission should collaborate with existing training institutions within this sector to build internal capacity. So this is just to encourage the Commission that in the meantime, while they are waiting for the enactment of the Commission's bill, they need to start engaging relevant training authorities that deals with the local government and SOE as a part of making their staff to be ready. Once this legislation has been enacted, then they should be able to hit the ground because they will know what is expected out of local government and SOEs. So that they then continue with their monitoring and evaluation around around the sphere, around local government and SOEs. And then 10.5, the PSC should monitor the implementation of professionalization framework without fear or favor and submit annual progress reports to Parliament and provincial legislature as part of efforts to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. And then with regard to 10.6, the Commission should develop an independent recruitment database for senior management service position and publish an annual report listing appointed officials in the public sector to enhance transparency and accountability to legislatures and the public. The report should form part of conducting oversight into personnel practice in the public sector. And 10.7, the PSC should ensure that the recruitment database assists the Commission in identifying repeated appointments of unqualified candidates, detecting trends of political interference, and exposing departments with high rates of irregular appointments. So if they develop this at sort of a dashboard, then the Commission will be able to monitor whether officials are appointed without merits, and even issues of political interference will also be highlighted if such a dashboard exists. And then 10.8, The Commission should continue to annually update and review the database of technical experts to support high-level selection committees for the appointment of accounting officers and the chief executive officers. 10.9, the Commission should collaborate with the Department of Public Service and Administration and the Presidency to amend the public service regulations, ensuring that the Public Service Commission plays a clear role in the recruitment of senior public officials, including Director General, Deputy Director General, SOE CEOs, board members, and other key leadership positions. And 10.10, the Commission should continue engaging and collaborating with the Department of Public Service and Administration to review and enhance the financial disclosure framework in order to address existing loopholes. And the current framework is not sufficiently effective in addressing unethical conducts. Here, in conclusion, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members, is just to emphasize that the budget vote 12 highlights both progress and persistent structural challenges affecting the effectiveness of the Public Service Commission. And then again, the annual performance plan and the strat plan are well aligned with the government priorities. And then just here also to emphasize that the PSC bill represents a critical opportunity to strengthen the Commission independence and expand its role. However, the expanded mandate will require adequate and sustained funding, so that we are still just making such an emphasis. And then the last paragraph, we are talking about a well-capacitated and independent public service as a fundamental in building a capable, ethical, and developmental state that South Africa envisaged. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members, for this draft report.
Thank you very much. Can I just get clarity? Is that the end of the report?
Yeah, this is the end of the report, Chairperson, where we are just indicating, but this will only happen after members have adopted and approved the report, where we say the House adopt and whatever. So the members will then indicate, and then we'll have to then implement this recommendation on. But this is the end of the report, Chairperson.
Okay, I'm sorry, then maybe I expressed myself incorrectly. Do we adopt this report now, or do we wait until the end? What is your view?
Yeah, I think Chairperson and even Mascolo will correct if I'm wrong. We will have to adopt once members have improved. Then they will have to adopt this report immediately after the deliberation by the members, if there's anything to add or correct on the report.
Yes, of course. That makes a lot of sense. That's correct. So let's go through all of the reports we have to see, and then after deliberations, we will adopt all of the necessary reports. Thank you.
Okay, Chair. On this one, Chair, should I, through you, if members, is there anything that members would like to add or whatever, or should we just go through all the reports and then, because I was awaiting, maybe one thing I'm just, is in case if a member would want to make corrections or additions to this report, then we have to come back so that we can deal with this while the report is still projected. If you can just facilitate that, Chairperson, and then I will then go to the next report, which is the National School of Government.
Yes. So members, although we scheduled the deliberations as a separate agenda point after the consideration of the different budget vote reports, I do agree with Julius. I think it makes more sense to take members' inputs after every single report. So if there's no objections, I'm going to actually allow members to now give inputs on the Public Service Commission report, which we just saw, and then we can make changes if anybody wants to make a change to the report now, and then move report by report. If there's no objections to that, then I'm going to open the floor for members who would like to make any changes to this report. or comments? Julius, I see no initial hands, so I think we can then move on to the next report, and I will give a final opportunity right at the end of all the reports for comments as well, if need be. So members will not lose their opportunity, but I see no hands at this stage, so let's move on to the next report. Thank you.
And thank you, Chairperson. Okay, Chair, let me just go through the report without any waste of time of the Public Service and Administration budget vote 11.
Can you flight it, Julius?
Okay,
It's not flighted. It's not appearing on the screen.
okay.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's still the one for the Public Service Commission. Let me do this. Uh, Yeah, okay, Chair. I don't know if I know Honorable Kaba might be raising again the issue of font. I was just trying to fix it again. Okay, Chair. May I proceed, Chair?
Yes, absolutely. Please proceed.
Okay. Yeah, Chairperson, this is a report for budget vote 11 of the Department of Public Service and Administration, budget vote 11. If I may just indicate that the budget 11 comprises of the Department of Public Service and Administration as well as the Center for Public Service Innovation. So, like we did with the previous one, Chair, this is page 1 of the report. And then page 2, where we are indicating the committee met on the 5th May, on the 5th May 2026. And then page 3, page 4. Oh, I'm moving fast. Page 5, page 6, and then page 7, and page 8. I think it's just a correction of 2026, 2027. And again, page 9. Page 10. Page 11 about the budget allocations.
Sorry, Julius, it seems like the pages aren't moving on our side.
And okay.
We're stuck. We're still stuck on strategic goal. Yeah, your screen is freezed on our side. Maybe please reshare. I think we need an update from our side.
Okay, let me do this, Chair. I'm just quickly connecting to another network. Okay, Chair, let me go back. Can you see this, my screen now? Is it moving, Chair?
No, it's not moving.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then share again. Is it moving, Chair?
No, still stuck. Still stuck. Still the same. I don't know if you can maybe ask Masi to share from his side, if that's going to make sense. Or maybe you should just quickly log out and join back into Zoom. I don't know if that could fix it.
And let me try again.
No, all we see is just the same frozen screenshot.
Okay, let me log out, Chair, and then quickly come back.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let's rather do it properly. Please log out
Okay.
and log back in. Thank you.
Okay, Chair. Masi, enable me to share my screen.
Okay. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Julius, I'm afraid we are stuck in exactly the same problem. We only see the same frozen frame. Can I please suggest that Masi shares this document from his screen, and then you must just guide him as he scrolls.
Okay, Chair.
Okay, Chairperson, let me try and put it through. Can the members see it, Chair?
No, yes, there we go. Let's see if it moves when you move. Yes, it moves. Yes, that works perfectly. So, Julius, you must just give
Okay.
Massey manual instruction on how he must scroll.
Okay,
Sorry,
Masi,
Chair. Sorry, Chair, the font again, please.
There
you
we
can
go.
Is
see.
it better now?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, Mas, you can go to page 5. I was almost on page 5 that time on.
Hey, that's page 5, Julius.
Yeah, and you can move to page 6. And page 7. Page 8. Yeah. Page 9. Page 10. Yeah. Page 11. It's about the budget allocations. And page 13, program performance on 5 programs. Yeah. Page 15, yeah, move Masi. Page 16. And this is about the CPSI. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Yeah, no, you can stop there, Masi. Yeah. Okay, Chair, these are our and honorable members. These are our key findings and observations that derive from when members they were engaging with the department. First one is the 9.1, where we note and welcome reviewed departmental strategic plan and annual performance plan of the Department of Public Service and Administration and the Center for Public Service Innovation. If members recalls, the department has reviewed the strat plan and they've indicated that they followed all the necessary processes where they've engaged the AG and the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation after the review of their strat plan. So we just acknowledged that. And then we further acknowledged that this strat plan and the APPs of both DPSA and Center for Public Service Innovation is aligned with the MTDP and the NDP. Yeah, we can move Masi to the second one, 9.2. And the committee further welcomes the signing of the Public Service Amendment Bill and Public Administration Management Amendment Bill into laws, which are expected to introduce reforms such as devolution of human resource management functions from executive authority to the accounting officers. And the committee wish for a speedy proclamation of the acts. I think there's something missing there. It should be the committee. If you can correct that, Masi will correct it, just highlight it. It should be the committee. Yeah. Yeah, the committee wish for speedy proclamations of the act. As we know, honorable members, that the president has signed both bills into law in March. So what is left is for the proclamations to happen, so that then the provisions of that in the acts can be implemented by government. 9.3. The department has to fast track the reviewing of the public service regulation to be aligned with the Public Service Act and Public Administration Management Act as amended in brackets is just to emphasize that as much as the president has signed those laws into, those bills into laws, then the public service, the department needs to move with speed in reviewing the regulations, because if they don't move with speed in reviewing the regulations, then we are likely not to be able to realize the provisions being implemented, and the provisions that are contained in both acts being implemented in this term of administration, the seventh administration. So it's just to emphasize that they really need to do that. 9.4, the committee further welcome commitment of the department in monitoring all national and provincial departments, including public entities, in the implementation of the national framework towards professionalization of the public sector. You can move, masses. That one is clear. And then the 9.5, the committee welcomes and notes the assessment conducted by the department in adhering to the professionalization framework in the appointment process of accounting officers on merits based on qualification, skills, and experiences. So if members recalls all appointments of the accounting officers and at both national and provinces, the DPSA has to, before the president appoint, the DPSA should then give a green light. And the green light is based on whether a particular department has conformed with the provisions of the Professional Framework and the Public Service Act. So if then they are appointing someone without qualification, then the department has got right not to approve such appointment or to approve recommendations for appointment to the president. So with regard to 9.6, following the volume 1 of the directive of the implementation of the professionalization framework, the department is urged to move swiftly to issue further directives aligned with the amendment legislation and the framework, and this will assist in closing existing loopholes that may be exploited for opportunistic purposes. So it's just to say, look, the DPSA must further issue, because if members recalls, then they've issued directives on the professionalization framework, but with these new legislations, they also need to issue other directives so that they caution the department about the existing laws that the president has signed, but that would also be dependent on whether those laws, the Public Service Act and the Public PAMA, has been proclaimed by the department. And then an incapacity leave in the public service negatively impacts the fiscus in both direct and indirect ways. And departments often end up appointing officials in an acting capacity while continuing to pay the salaries of officials on incapacity leave. The committee notes instances of abuse and misuse of this leave and requests the department to urgently review the policy in consultation with organized labor. 9.8, since the president's 2019 announcement on lifestyle audits, progress has been made in departments undertaking such audits. The amendment of the Public Service Regulation in October 2023 has made lifestyle audit mandatory. And the committee knows that the department will be entering into the Memorandum of Understanding with the Special Investigating Unit and the State Security Agency for vetting purposes as part of the lifestyle audit processes and as an additional measure to strengthen the system. So that's what the committee has welcomed when the DG has announced in our committee. And then 9.9, the department fast track interventions has to fast track interventions to assist the Northwest Provincial Government in conducting effective lifestyle audit aimed at rooting out corruption in the province. And the utilization of ethics officers to conduct lifestyle audits seems to be biased and subjective, and it renders the entire process a compliance exercise. If members still recall, I want to emphasize more on that one. because we had Northwest, and then that's when Northwest has reported, and then it was objected by the committee. And then with regard to 9.10, the committee welcomes the development relating to the development relating to the developing of the regulations to compel departments on the utilization of the central register for verifying disciplinary processes against public servants to ensure that those officials who have been found guilty of misconduct and have been barred from re-entering the public sector. I have been, have been, so 9.11. The committee further notes that the central register will assist the department in monitoring adherence to disciplinary case management processes. And the department further indicated that once officials are appointed to deal with the disciplinary cases, departments will be compelled to ensure that such officials are no longer assigned additional responsibilities and that disciplinary matters are prioritized and finalized expeditiously. A chairperson of disciplinary committee may also be charged if found to have delayed a case through unnecessary postponement. So this is another interventions that the department has announced, and it has been welcomed by the committee. And then 9.12, the department continues to issue and monitor implementation of norms and standards and the development of cybersecurity awareness strategy and the revised government-wide enterprise architecture framework, which will reflect the digital public infrastructure as per the roadmap for digital transformation of public service. And then 9.13, the committee knows the amendment of the strategic plan where targets relating to temporary capacity leave were replaced with ICT norms and standards to guide the insurance of a directive on ICT security. In 9.14, the department was cautioned about its budget on the compensation of employees, which goes beyond 70% in 3 identified programs, which is program 2 and 3 and 4. And in 9.15, the department continued monitoring appointments and learnership program for the youth, including people with disability in the public sector. You can move, Mazi. With regard to the CPSI, the committee knows the CPSI capacity constraint and insufficient budget, which hinder its ability to effectively drive innovation projects across the public service. And the CPSI must be capacitated to fulfill its role, particularly given its shared service model. 9.17, the Minister of the Department of Public Service and Administration should fast-track the job evaluation process and the re-advertisement of the Chief Executive Officer vacancy for the Center for Public Service Innovation. This process must be expedited as the position has been vacant since October 2013. 9.18, the CPSI has to be reinforced with adequate technical and digital capabilities to guide public service transformation. Its work has to be closely coordinated with relevant stakeholders such as Department of Science and Technology and the Department of Communication and Digital Technologies and the State Information Technology Agency. And the 9.19, the CPSI has to strengthen its monitoring and evaluation mechanism, and innovation projects have to be tracked over a defined period to assess their impact on service delivery. 9.20, the committee has to ensure that the CPS does not only initiate innovative projects, but also follow through to evaluate sustainability and long-term outcomes. With regard to the recommendations, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, the committee recommended this to the Department of Public Service and Administration and the Center for Public Service Innovation. 10.1, the department should expedite the finalization of the process of promulgating supporting regulations and review all legal and review all legal instruments to ensure alignment with the enacted legislation. 10.2, the department should fast-track the reviewing of incapacity leave due to the abuse in consultation with organized labor, and this leave contributes to significant cost incurred. You can move, Mercy. incurred by the fiscus and the department, working with experts as well as government employee medical schemes, should develop measures to prevent abuse of the leave and medical aid. So this is goes in two ways, where the government employee medical scheme should then assist the Department of Public Service and Administration on how this incapacity leave can be minimized. The abuse on incapacity can be minimized, and at the same time, because it also affects the medical aid scheme in terms of the funding. If you still remember the issue of fraud, again, where maybe the doctors can just give me an incapacity leave, and then without looking at the implications that it cost the government. So with regard to 10.3, the DPSA should prioritize the filling of critical vacancies, particularly at the senior management level. So here we are talking about the DG, and there are two programs that are have got an acting deputy director general. So we are just talking in general terms there. So with regard to 10.4, the department should expedite the finalization and implementation of memorandum of understanding with the Special Investigating Unit and the State Security Agency for vetting purposes as part of the lifestyle audit process. And this should be prioritized as a key institutional mechanism to strengthen integrity management system, enhance compliance with the public service regulations, and ensure effective detections and prevention of unethical conduct within the public service. With regard to 10.5, the department should fast-track intervention to assist the Northwest Provincial Government in conducting effective lifestyle audits aimed at rooting out corruption in the province, and the utilization of ethic officers to conduct lifestyle audits seems to be biased and subjective, as it renders the entire process a compliance exercise. And then the department should monitor the appointment process and turnover rate of accounting officers in the public service. 10.7, the department should continue, can correct that, must continue to empower the public administrative ethics, integrity, disciplinary technical assistant unit to monitor and report on the lifestyle audit implementation. Yeah, you can 10.7 must you just remove M, continue if there's a spelling mistake there. And then with regard to 10.8, the department should utilize the central register to monitor compliance with the 90-day period for the finalization of disciplinary cases, including delays caused by both the employer and the suspended employees. So just to emphasize, because in most cases during the disciplinary cases, delays are also caused by both parties. So it's just to encourage the DPSA to monitor using the central register. 10.9, the DPSA should continue leading public service digital transformation and shifting from paper-based to digital administration. And then with regard to 10.10, the minister should ensure stability within the department by fast-tracking the appointment of the director general and all funded senior management position within 6 months of the adoption of the adoption of the report by the National Assembly. We'll fix that one with the addition. And then 10.11, the department should ensure consistent adherence to the Batobele principle by all public servants. And the department, in collaboration with the National School of Government, should continuously provide training and strengthen monitoring processes and reinforce accountability mechanisms to promote citizen-centered approach to service delivery, as well as responsiveness and professionalism within the public service. And 10.12, the department should intensify efforts to encourage government departments and public entities to promote gender representative within the public service, particularly at senior management level. Currently, the female representation in senior management service stands at 4,326 as compared to 5,241 for males. And furthermore, representation of females with the category of person with disability remains lower than that of males with disabilities, which require targeted intervention to address these disparities. And with regards to Center for Public Service Innovation, the following recommendations are proposed to improve stakeholder management to ensure replication and uptake of innovative solutions across government, department, and public entities. 10.11, the CPSI should develop a national innovation dashboard to track and showcase CPSI projects across all 9 provinces using offices of the Premier. And then 10.15, the Minister of the Public Service Administration fast-track appointment of the CPSI Chief Executive Officer. 10.11, the CPSI should be reinforced with adequate technical and digital capabilities to guide public service transformation. And then 10.17, the CPSI should strengthen its monitoring and evaluation mechanisms. Innovation projects have to be tracked over a defined period to assess their impact on service delivery. And then with regard to 10.18, the Center for Public Services should focus on assisting frontline departments in rural areas to improve efficiency, particularly where service delivery is hampered by poor network connectivity. You can move, Mercy. And then in conclusion, is just to also highlight that the DPSA, together with its entities, when you talk about its entities, CPSI, and as well as the National School of Government, remain central in building their capable ethical and developmental state. And then the professionalization of the public sector through reskilling initiative and the reform of recruitment practices remain essential for building a capable and ethical and developmental state. And then again, the issue of alignment with regards to the NDP and the MDTP has also been emphasized on the conclusion. And then the committee also welcomes the president sent to Public Service Amendment Bill and the Public Administration Management Bill, which aims to strengthen governance and accountability and the professionalization in the public service. And the committee further acknowledged the progress made by the DPSA and the CPSI in delivering their respective mandates. You can move to the last one, Mercy. Yeah, and then here is just to express our appreciation, and then also recommend that the committee adopt and approve the budget vote 11 of the Department of Public Service and Administration. I thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members.
Thank you very much, Julius. Members, is there any changes which you have picked up, which you would like to have brought onto the report? If I see no hands, then we can move to the next report. Honorable Spies, please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, I just want to, good morning, and thank you very much, Julius, and good morning, colleagues. I just want to find out, it's something that I've just picked up, but I do not see that there's any mention made of it in the report. And it's got to do with whistleblower protection. Because I do believe that it's discussed strategically in the report, but it is absent from the recommendation session. And I wonder if we could actually add something into that, which maybe goes as follows, that maybe the department should strengthen the support mechanism for whistleblowers. And that could include confidential reporting systems, awareness campaigns, and maybe interdepartmental coordination to protect whistleblowers from victimization. I was wondering about that, Chair. And then on the vacancies, the recommendation on skills and vacancies, vacancy management. It is a concern that is mentioned throughout the report. And but I want maybe if we can have a bit of a stronger recommendation there, where we maybe, for instance, ask the department to develop a funded vacancy reduction and succession planning strategy, so that it addresses that the persistent senior management vacancies and instability in the leadership positions. Chair, I'll just stop at those two. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think both of those are sensible. Julius, how would you like to do it? Must Honorable Speaker perhaps send it to you in writing quickly in a WhatsApp or in an email, or would you like to bring them in live now? What's your preference?
Chair, let me see if I can project again. If I'm unable, then I'll request Honorable Speaker to send the edition via WhatsApp to us, and then we'll incorporate such in the report. But I'm just trying to again, if you can be able to see my screen, then it will be quicker in this way.
No, we are still stuck here. There's some sort of gremlin in your computer, but
I know.
Chair, I
Okay.
can send it to
Honorable
I can
Speaker.
send it. I can send
Okay.
it immediately.
Okay, Chair.
I'll just
Right.
quickly send it via WhatsApp.
That would be very helpful. Thank you, Honorable
Okay,
Speaker.
thank you.
Okay. Julius, I think if Honorable Speaker sends that on to you, then you can work it into the report, and we can just have a look at it at the end, and you can proceed with the next portion of the presentation, because there are no other hands from members at this stage.
Okay, through your chair again, Mr. Sibeko, if you can project the National School of Government report and enlarge for honorable members. Please enlarge. You can go
How does it
again.
look now?
Just a bit. Okay, it's fine. Just align it so that it can be at the center.
Done.
Okay, thank you, Chair and honorable members. Before the committee is the draft report on Budget Vote 7, National School of Government. I'll just go page by page quickly, Chair. Page 1. And page 2, where we have indicated we have met on the 5th of May. Page 3. Page 5. And then page 6. Page 8. Page 9, about the budget allocations and analysis of the budget. Page 10. And page 11. Yeah, you can stop there. Okay, thank you, Chair and honorable members, once more. The committee findings and observations on the APP of the National School of Government read as follows. 9.1, the committee just notes and welcome the APP of the National School of Government, and further indicated that indeed the APP is aligned with with the mandate of the school or the National School of Government. 9.2, the committee commends the minister and the National School of Government for appointing a ministerial advisory committee focused on curriculum development and and quality assurance, and the committee knows that all members of the advisory body possess the necessary expertise, experience, and skills to effectively carry out this responsibility and guide the school towards the right trajectory. With regard to 9.3, due to the passing of the amendments of the Public Administration Management Act of 2024, the National School of Government will be regarded as a national department once the Act has been proclaimed, and the National School of Government will provide education, training programs, or courses in the public administration across 3 spheres of government and to public entities. 9.4, in order to fully implement, you can move, Masi, in order to implement the provision of the PAM Act, the National School of Government has to reconfigure its governance and institutional structure, as well as its academic staffing over the MTEF. The Ministry for the Department of Public Service and Administration, together with the National Treasury, have to provide additional funding to support the school expanded mandate and to establish a well-capacitated institution capable of generating its income and its own in the future without reliance on the fiscus. It goes back to the issue of the funding model, self-sustainable funding model that the committee always encouraged the school to develop. And then 9.5, following the implementation of the Nugela training program across job level category in the public service, the school and the department has to ensure that officials who have attended Nugela courses at middle management position are not disadvantaged in being considered for promotion to senior management positions. And the Nugela program for the middle management has to be leveraged to promote and support upward mobility within the departments. If members still recall, there are different categories of Nugela. So I think the main point of emphasis here was to say, if an official A has only a Nugela for the middle management, but is not yet currently at the senior management, and then he's applying for a position of the director or a director in whatever department, the Nugela for the middle management can still be utilized up until the official maybe get the Nugela for the senior management once the department has appointed, because currently then there's this Nugela for the middle management, of which in terms of the scope they differ. But it's just to encourage that there needs to be relooked at, so that that upward mobility in terms of promotion should be encouraged within the public service. So with regard to 9.6, compulsory ethical training programs have to be linked with career progressions rather than becoming a box-ticking exercise for public servants. Ethical competence has to be aligned with the performance reviews across state institutions. And despite the provision of training and training, officials who attend compulsory courses such as ethics training are expected to perform functions differently and demonstrate improved conduct. There must be a noticeable change in the behavior of cohorts of officials who have completed ethics courses at the school. You can move, Masi. The NSG continues to serve as a champion of knowledge within the public sector by fulfilling its mandate to provide and facilitate education, training, and development across the 3 spheres of government, state-owned entities, and organs of state. And the school design ETD means education, training, and development programs aimed at introducing new skills into public administration. 9.8, the committee further notes that the NSG has prioritized the development of a suite of specialized digital transformation courses to equip public servants with digital skills in generative artificial intelligence, robotics, cybersecurity, and the Internet of Things. And the schools has developed training courses to empower public servants about minimizing any form of abuse on the AI-generated uh, reports and its implementation and its implication. Sorry for that. The 9.9, the National School of Government is further encouraged to consider implementing outcome-based education, training and development courses by developing a matrix to monitor the performance of students, learners who have undertaken school courses. While the committee acknowledged the NSG progress in ETD, it highlights the need to assess the outcomes and the impact on trained public servants. 9.10, the committee notes the training courses and program offerings have been updated to a new hybrid model to reach more public servants across the country, and the NSG is encouraged to engage telecommunication service provider to improve the infrastructure necessary for remote training and development. With regard to the recommendations, the committee recommends that the National School of Government should develop a comprehensive suite of programs and courses that responds to the needs and demands of local government level and public entities. Collaboration should be the main emphasis in the development of training programs for local government and public entities. Then 10.2, the NSC should collaborate with the Department of Cooperative Governance and South African Local Government Association to assess training needs and demands with a view to addressing service delivery challenges at the local government level. 10.3, in order to fully implement the provision of the PAM Act, the school should reconfigure its governance and institutional structure as well as its academic staffing over the medium-term expenditure framework period. And 10.4, the Ministry for the Public Service and Administration, together with the National Treasury, should continue to provide additional funding to support the NSG's expanded mandate and to establish a well-capacitated institution capable of generating its own income in the future and thereby reducing reliance on the fiscal. And 10.5, following the implementation of the Nugela training program across job level category in the public service, the NSC and the department should ensure that officials who have completed the Nugela courses at middle management are not disadvantaged in being considered for promotion to senior management position. The Nugela program for middle management should be leveraged to promote and support upward mobility within departments. 10.6, ethical competence should be aligned with performance reviews across the state institution. Despite the provision of training officials who attended compulsory courses such as ethics training are expected to perform their function differently and demonstrate improved conduct. And there should be a noticeable change in the behavior of cohorts of officials who have completed ethics courses at the school. With regard to 10.7, the NSG should implement outcome-based education training and development programs by developing a comprehensive matrix to monitor and evaluate the performance of learners who have undertaken its courses. In conclusion, like the same as other reports, it's just to make an emphasis that the NSG mandate conforms with the expectations from the medium-term development plan and the national development plan, and then the NSC continues to play a leading role in training and development in the public sector ecosystem, and the NSG continue to reposition itself in leading with the education and training and development institution in the public sector. You can go to the last one, Masi, the last paragraph. Yeah, and then the committee then acknowledged the APP and the budget allocation for the 2026-2027 aimed at strengthening state capacity through provision of education, training, and development in the public service. So this is what we are recommending. We are submitting to the committee chairperson through your deliberations and engagement with the National School of Government, and then at last, then we are saying that the House adopt and approve that will be subjected to members' discussion after this presentation, Chair. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for tabling this report on the National School of Government. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Members, is there any suggested changes to the report as it has been presented to us? Honorable Space.
Thank you, Chair. It's maybe just clarity from Julia's side. I might have missed that. And it has got to do with the let me just see about the training. Okay, got it. Yeah. In terms of the compulsory, the report speaks about a lot about ethics, but I might have missed it. I don't see that there's a direct link training, the direct link in terms of the training to consequence management and corruption prevention, which is, I believe, a major governance gap. But so I don't see that the report, as it speaks, that there is a strong link with ethics and directly the training courses that deals with consequence management. And so I wondered if that is indeed in place. Does the NSG have a compulsory consequence management and anti-corruption program or modules for senior management that is directly linked to disciplinary accountability and ethical leadership and financial governance? I hope I'm clear, Julius. Through you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Honourable Member. That is a very good question, one to which I actually do not know the answer. I'm not sure if there is a course like that. I know there is a basics ethics course. Julius, would you be able to answer that? And if it's unclear, I don't see any harm in actually perhaps working that as a recommendation into the report. I'd love to hear your input, Julius. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. I think it can be incorporated, but I believe the ethics courses, though there are a number of ethics courses, but we don't know because we haven't attended any ethics course with the NSG, but we don't know much about the modules within ethics courses. Maybe we might find that is embedded within one of the modules, but we can still make an emphasis on the report around, like as the chairperson have emphasized, around having an anti-corruption model for the SMS as part of training them on the implementation of the consequence management for officials who are not ethical in the public service. So we can just connect that with the recommendations on the ethics. So if we can maybe make it a separate recommendations, I think we'll work it with Honorable Space around that particular recommendation, Chair. If the committee allows us to do that, we can do that as well, like we did with the DPSA report.
Yes, thank you. I think that's a good suggestion. Honourable Space, if you'd like to add, then you're welcome. But I think that is a good suggestion.
Thank you, Chair. I will just liaise with Julius then quickly now. I will send it now on. I'm just formulating it properly quickly.
Right. Thank you, Honourable Space. Members, if there are no other inputs, then we can move along, Julius.
Yeah, I think Masi will then guide you, Chairperson, on the processes. And I think we are done from my side in terms of the reports. It's just to include those additions, and then if the committee adopt with those amendments, then we, unless if the committee will want to see, but they've been circulated, will also share the report immediately, or even there is what Honorable Speaker has already sent to us on the WhatsApp group for them for the committee.
Thank you very much. Masi, perhaps we can adopt the two reports where there was no additions made, and then it also gives Julius a chance to just work in the additions that Honorable Spies gave on the other two reports. But I am open to suggestion. Masi Kole, how do you propose we proceed?
Yes, Chair. Thank you so much. I think, Chair, the best way would be to adopt all three collectively with one mover and a seconder, Chair. And of course, the other two will be adopted with amendments. And what we will do, Chairperson, is that once Julius has incorporated those amendments into the two reports, he will then send it to members. We will then send it to members via email and also via WhatsApp, just to members to see the changes that we've made. So I would advise the Chairperson we adopt the three collectively, but the two we adopt them with amendments, Chair. Thank you so much.
Okay. Can I just ask practically how that would work? Would we then have a session? Would we actually then bring the amended reports to our next session next Wednesday to just adopt those amended reports?
No, Chairperson. Julius is going to factor those changes right away. The committee can continue adopting the three reports as per normal, and then we'll submit the amended reports to the committee right away. But
Okay,
the
so we
committee
will
can
still.
continue and adopt, in terms of procedure, can continue to adopt the reports with amendments. Chair, thank you so much.
Okay. Honorable Kaba, I see your hand.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, I rise to move the adoption of the report with amendment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kaba. That is much appreciated. Can I please see a seconder for the adoption of the reports with the proposed amendments? Honorable Space.
Thank you, Chair. I rise to support the adoption of the report with amendments. Thank you. I second that.
Thank you very much. Honorable Pelise, I see your hand. You're welcome to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning to you and colleagues. I just want you, Chair, to just note the reservation of the EFF. We reserve on our rights in the adoption of these reports, Chair. Thank you.
That is 100% noted and within your rights. No problem. Thank you, Honorable Pelise, for noting that. Members, with that being noted, is if there are no other objections or inputs, I think we can then move on to the adoption of the minutes. Am I correct, Masizolia? Is that our next agenda item?
You are correct, Chairperson. I will flight them right away, Chairperson.
All right. Thank you very much.
We have just 3 sets of minutes, Chair, and these minutes were submitted to members so that they can be able to go through them last week, Friday. I will just look. We've got minutes of the 12th of November. Okay, I've put it through, Chair.
Please go ahead.
Those 3 sets. Yes, I'm on page 1, Chair. That day, I think the committee had to do something with the adoption of the PSA bill. I'm on page 1. Page 2. Page 3. That's the last page, sir. These are the minutes of the 12th of November, Chair,
Thank you very much.
2025.
Thank you very much. Members, can I please see a mover to adopt the minutes?
Good morning, Chair. My apologies. I don't see the function which allows me to raise my hand. My apologies on
No
that
problem.
one. I've been trying. Chair, I move for the adoption of the minutes. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tekana. Honorable Ndamase.
Thank you very much, Chair. I rise to second the mover for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, much appreciated. Thank you, members. The minutes have been duly adopted. Masi, can we please move on to the next set?
Thank you, Chair. These are the minutes of the 26th of November, 2025. I'm on page 1, Chair. Okay, Chair, I think let's skip this one. I think there's just something. Okay, we can go ahead, Chair. I just need to fix this part, Chair, where there's a blank page, Chair.
Sorry, Mercy. Can you come down again? I want to see something.
Yes, Chair, I'm on page 3. We had gems on the day. Page 4. Page 5 there, Chair. These are the minutes of the 26th of November, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, can I please have a mover for the adoption of the minutes? Honorable Kaba.
Thank you, Chairperson. I move the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please have a seconder? Honorable Langa, I see you've unmuted.
Yes, Chair. I second for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your assistance, Honorable Langa. With that, the minutes of the is adopted. Masi, can we please move on to the next set of minutes?
These are the minutes, Chair, of the first term this year, 28th of January 2026. I'm on page 1. Meeting was virtual. Page 2, Chair. Committee was just adopting the report, Chair, of the oversight in KZN. Thank you, Chair. That's the last page. Page 3.
Thank you very much, Masi. Members, can we please have a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
Thanks, Chair.
Honorable Tekana.
I rise to move for the adoption of the minutes, Chair. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Can we please have a seconder?
Thank you, Chairperson. I second the mover, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kaba. Much appreciated. With that, the minutes have been duly adopted. Can we please move on, Masi Kole?
Those were the last one, Chair. We only have 3 sets today. I will add more next week, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, that brings us to the end of the scheduled program, but Honorable Langa did want to place an additional item on the agenda, which is the study tour, and we do have time. Honorable Langa, perhaps I will give you then the opportunity to just give the first input, and then I will respond to that. Honorable Langa, please proceed.
No, thank you very much, Chair. But I think I'm limited to time now because I'm just rushing to board the flight. So I have to quickly get out of the car now. So I don't think I will have appropriate time to partake. So I don't know if maybe we can pack it for now, or maybe try and uh, 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 um, feature it in maybe the next meeting when we have time.
I have no issue with that, honourable members. Then we will park that issue and we will speak about it next week when we have more time, or when Honourable Langa is available. Honourable members, then that brings us to the end of our session. Thank you very much for your attendance, and good luck with everybody's preparation for our committee's budget speech, and I hope everybody has a great week. With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Viva Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. And honorable members.
Recording stopped.